Hi, it's Tony Robbins again. Listen, people ask me all the time, if you really want to get lasting change, real results that stick around, what do you got to do? What are the most important things you've learned, Tony, in that area? And I tell people the most common thing people talk about is how they want to make a change in their life. But everybody wants a change, but nobody wants to work out. Everybody wants muscle, but nobody wants to train. See, one of the challenges that we have in our lives is we don't realize that the process of training ourselves, the process of conditioning ourselves actually feels incredible once you get that initial momentum. But most people don't. Why? Why do so many people say, well, I lost 100 pounds, the same 10 pounds 10 times, or they'll tell me, I'm on my 4th day without a cigarette, man. I'm doing really good. If you're counting the days, it's not lasting change. You're just counting the days you can tell people how long you lasted. If you want lasting change, you've got to give up this idea of trying something. You got to decide you're going to commit to mastery. And when I say commit to mastery, what I mean by that is most people dabble. They talk about, well, I'd like to change my body. I'd like to make my relationship better. I'd like to have more passion there, but they don't know what to do. And even if they did, they don't have enough detail to be able to follow through. They haven't made the shifts in their own emotion and their psychology to follow through. And it isn't that difficult, but there is a path and it requires consistency. Think about it. Everybody overeats some of the time. Everybody gets angry or frustrated or sad or depressed some of the time. Your life is not controlled by what you do some of the time. It's what you do consistently. And here's the secret. Whatever you want to make better, you better make sure you measure it more often. Think about it. If you want to lose weight and you never look at a scale, that's how people find themselves 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds overweight, or even 10 or 15, because it just kind of happens slowly and then all at once. What do businesses go out of business? Things are okay, and then all of a sudden they're in trouble overnight. It's not overnight. All of our success and failure in life comes from little decisions, little actions, little moments. Failure isn't an overnight event. It's failure to make the phone call. It's failure to say, I love you. It's failure to take care of your body. It's failure to invest some time in yourself so you keep growing and expanding and not just reacting to the world that's constantly demanding your attention. Success comes from doing the right things also, little things, saying I love you, taking the time for what matters most, your body, your mind, your spirit, your emotion, having a plan, and measuring your progress. That's the second thing we need. You got to commit to mastery, but you also really need to get yourself involved in what I call immersion coaching. Immersion coaching is as old as humanity. How have we passed on mastery of anything? Finances, crafts, ideas, business, politics. Usually you went to live with somebody, you went to work for somebody, you became an apprentice. And maybe decades or years or decades of your life, you'd commit time to be around that person day and night so you could see and feel all the little distinctions that make them so masterful at what they do. Today, people have no patience. We all want it right now. And people don't only not commit to mastery, but they rarely even find a real mentor or coach. They think they have all the answers. They try a few things. If it doesn't work, they run to something else. If you want a great jump in the quality of your life, an extraordinary jump in the quality of your life, you got to set yourself up to win. You got to set yourself up with a process that allows you to consistently grow, consistently enjoy your life, and consistently produce the results that you're really after. And I don't care what area of life you want to change, coaching is one of the most valuable tools in the world. Now, when I started my career, there was no coaching industry. I helped to father that industry almost 35 years ago. And it's kind of interesting. When I first started out, if somebody would have said, one of the best ways you can help an executive perform at a higher level is get them a personal coach, people would have laughed at you. But today, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry because 70% of the Fortune 500 now say, in a recent study, if you want to find the top 3 ways to improve performance of an executive, one of those is personal coaching. But again, when I began, I'll tell you kind of the history of how this came about. I was a young man who was always looking for answers. I wanted to change my own life initially, physically, mentally, emotionally, and financially. But as soon as I got answers, I always was coaching other people. When I was, in high school, I was Mr. Solution. If you had a problem, I had the solution. Especially if you were a girl, because then I was more motivated and I want to really help. But really at that time, I would feed my mind. I didn't have a lot of coaches to come after. I fed my mind with books. I read a book a day. My goal is read a book every single day that's about personal development, improvement, psychology, physiology, something that could help you improve your life. And when people needed help, I had the answer. And I got hooked on having those answers. So I kind of started that coaching at that stage where I coached myself and people saw results. And those results made people ask me what to do, and that's how I got involved in it. But then as the years went by, I'm still a young man, but I was in my early 20s, and I developed this incredible arsenal of tools, a toolbox, a tool chest, if you will, of the very best tools to create change rapidly, things that look like magic to people, where I could take somebody and I would go on a radio show or a TV show and I would challenge traditional psychologists and psychiatrists, and I'd say, give me your worst patient. I don't care if they have uncontrollable phobias. Have them come see me. I'll handle it in 1 hour. And I developed this idea that I was the 1 hour, the one-stop coach, the person that could help people make any change. And I built my career by actually doing that. I got on television and radio, and I took people with lifetime phobias and turned them around. And these are all just techniques and strategies that I didn't develop. I just kept looking for the best, and I kept synthesizing it and bringing it forward. So when I started out, here I was, this guy helping people lose 30, 60, 90, in some cases 200 pounds. Or taking a guy that was barely surviving financially, and within a couple of years of this counseling, or coaching as I started to call it, really got him to turn his business around and literally got him financially independent. Relationships that were falling apart. And I learned the distinctions to help couples change. And so when you start getting those types of results that are that measurable, people started giving me attention, and the media started to come to me. And then what they wanted to know was this: what are you? And I thought, are you a guru? I said, no, not that. You're Mr. Motivator. Like, no, I'm certainly believe in people having an inspired life. I mean, think about it. Inspiration is pretty important. If you're not inspired, what is inspired? It means in spirit. It means there's an energy in your life. If you're not inspired about your life, what do you have? Nothing. But I'm really more about strategy. And they kept pushing me. Guru, motivator, what are you? And I said, well, you know what I really am? I'm a coach. And I came up with that metaphor. I mean, there's always been consultants in business. I wasn't talking about businesses. It was individuals. And I said, I'm not a therapist. I said, and I don't have a degree. People pay me because I produce measurable results. They pay me nothing unless I do it. That's how I set up my career. That's how I built my brand. And I said, for me, coaches are people that are not better than you are. A coach just has a different perspective. I mean, even back in those days, the best athletes in the days, the Gretzkys, the Michael Jordans, et cetera, they all had a coach. Still to this day, the best have coaches, because the coach can see what you can't see because you're in the force. They're outside of it. And I know as an athlete, I was better than some of my coaches, but they made me better. So I said, that's my job. I'm a coach, because to me, a coach is not better. They're a friend. They're an equal. They're there for you. There's somebody who cares deeply about your well-being, but they're also incredibly skilled to help guide you at the moment you really need it. And so I started promoting this idea of being a coach, and the sports metaphor helped some people, but the media didn't buy into it very much. But I was able to succeed finally because I was able to keep measuring these results. I mean, I would go out and say, I'll come see me for one session. I'll handle this problem, or you pay me nothing. And you can check it out for 60 days. I still use that formula to this day, as many of you know, with my products and services. So what was really fascinating, though, was along the way, there's a point after years of calling myself a coach, and there was no coaching industry, nobody talking themselves as coaches. I remember at one point I hit a point where I was about to give it up. And Larry King even said to me on air one time, he said, what is this? You're a coach. What does that mean? And I was trying to explain peak performance coaching and strategy and so forth. And right about that time, suddenly coaching became the term of art, and everybody was a coach. Therapists started calling themselves coaches. Financial planners became coaches. It just became the term of art. So it's been a fascinating journey watching that word come in, because what I did is I helped build that term by making it based on real results. So, I'd go to the U.S. Army, and I went to this general, and I said, General, I can take any training program you have in the entire Army, any training program, cut the training time in half, and increase the competency. He said, you're crazy. I said, no, I'm expensive. We kind of giggled and laughed, and I was able to put together a deal, and I was going to pay nothing unless I cut a training program in half and increase the competency. And he started with a pistol shooting training, 45 caliber pistol shooting. I never shot a gun before in my life, but I figured out the process. This is what I'm best at, of what the best people in the world did. They gave me the best shooter in the Army, the best shooter in the armed services, and their coach. Went underground, worked with these guys. They had me shoot a gun, and it has a bit of a kick, and I did so poorly, and they're going, what are you going to do? And you're just a kid. I was, 24 at the time. And I said, well, I know a little bit about how to model what makes people successful in their mind and their emotions. Because pulling that gun, there's a certain amount of mechanics, but there's also a strategy of what you do in your head that allows you to target in and make this so successful. And my job is to uncover what that is, and I did. I'll give you a clue. All of these shooters that are the best in the world, they don't see the target far away. They mentally bring it closer. So when I designed the training program, the coaching program for all new recruits, I designed it so when they first shot the gun, they never shot the gun until they'd gone through the exact same motions, everything I'd learned from the best people. But then I put the target 5 feet away. So they go boom, and they shoot it right in the center the first time. Wow, boom, and they built on this success, whereas I was trying to shoot it from 40 yards away, and I felt like a failure. We build on success, and that's part of our success coaching system, our immersion coaching system. The bottom line is I got such great results that pretty soon I was coaching Princess Diana, President Clinton, Andre Agassi, the LA Kings. It just grew and grew and grew. And today I'm very proud to say that I'm the most successful coach of our type in the world. I get 7 figures to coach somebody plus a piece of the upside. And I have clients that I've had for 17 consecutive years at that investment level. One of them is one of the top 10 financial traders in the world. This is a man who's made $500 million when the market was destroyed in 1987. In 2008, when the market went through the floor, people lose trillions of dollars. He was up 23%. He's brilliant. But I literally have coached him for those 17 years, 7 figures a year. And it's all been based on producing these real results. I bring this point up to you not to brag, but to get across to you that what we do is different. Today, anybody can call themselves a coach. It's a joke. It's become a term of art for anything. Somebody can go to some class that somebody made up and be certified as a coach, but can they really produce measurable results for you? I have a system, and my system that I do for 7 figures one-on-one for an individual, I've now taught all of my coaches to facilitate. And you're not going to be paying 7 figures, 6 figures, 5 figures. I think it's a little less than 3 figures a month to give you an idea. It's pitifully small, but the reward is priceless. And the people I have are extraordinary. So, does coaching work? Gosh, regular training. All the research shows that if you want to increase productivity in yourself, in your life, or in a business, overall training will increase productivity by 22%. Any ordinary training will do that. But if you take ordinary training and you attach to it personal coaching, studies show it increases by 88% of your productivity, meaning the results you get. The type of immersion coaching we do is a whole different level, and I'll tell you what the difference is. It's a combination of all the strategies that I've accumulated that are proprietary to myself and what I teach for the last 33 years. I've dealt now with 4 million people from literally 100 different countries. At this point, I have to be an idiot not to notice that there are certain patterns that make people successful and certain patterns that make people fail. Patterns that make people frustrated and angry and depressed, and patterns that make people feel passionate and alive and taking control of their life. And so I've put those together and I train my team in those. But the other part is when I started out, I was doing one-on-one work with people. And I loved that. It was incredible. But after a while, I saw, if I work with these people, a couple hours a month, maybe I'll get 20, 24 hours a year of coaching with them. It's fantastic. It's short. But if I could get them together for one weekend event, I could take group dynamics and learn from each other. And it could produce this energy like you have when you're an NBA final championship game or a football game or a great baseball game. And all of a sudden, you got energy, you got group dynamics, and I could do 50 hours in a weekend and make it like the time of people's lives where you have this explosion of progress. And so then I thought events were the answer. And how we've come to our current immersion program is I began to realize, wow, people get this huge jump in immersion with an event. And then having somebody one-on-one who knows you individually working with you and helping you to hold yourself to a standard. Again, measuring your progress, helping to guide you, and doing it, in a way that's very convenient. You don't have to travel. They're on the phone with you and they do it in the days that make sense for you, a couple times a month, and you're ready to rock and roll and go to a different level. So I began to combine those and then we added our products. So that's how we have our current immersion system. So here's my offer to you. If you're serious, if you're not kidding yourself, and you really want to improve your life in any area, for things to change, you've got to change. For you to get better, for things to get better, you've got to get better. It's in every one of us. And so what we have to do is have a system to do it. So take advantage of this immersion system, this results coaching system. This is a place where you can see your life really change because we've proven it over and over again. It has a money-back guarantee. Come to an event. And if you can't do that for starters, get yourself a coach and get yourself a product and focus on the areas you want to change, whether it be your body, your emotions, your relationships, your finances, your career, the way you master and manage your time, or just the experience of what is going to be meaningful and celebratory for you in this life. Whatever you want to focus on, we've got the expertise to take you to that level. Or if you're in business, we have business coaching as well. And you can see that if you check out the section that we do on business breakthroughs. So that's our offering to you. Get yourself started. And one of the ways we can help you out, if you're just kind of interested, not sure, and whether you want to commit yet or not, or try this process out or not, we have an opportunity for you to have a free coaching session that there's no charge, will add value to your life. You'll get a chance to focus and see what are the areas I want to improve, why, what's the strategy that'll start to move you forward. And all you have to do is click on the button or do the click to call or call our 800 number and we'll schedule a coaching session for you. But I'm passionate about coaching, as you can tell. It's a part of my life and history. Coaches have made such a difference in my life. At certain times, they just gave me a little insight. I'm heading this direction, and they gave me this little slight change where instead of heading here, I'm heading here. But you take that out a week from now, a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, you end up in a different destination, a different destiny. Little things mean everything, and coaches allow you not to miss those little things. They allow you to get consistent results. And they're there for you as a friend to deal with both the good times and the challenging times. And God knows we have all of those together. So drop in with us, test us out, have a chance of our immersion coaching. I know you'll be thrilled. And you can check on the website here and see results of all the clients I've dealt with, top CEOs, people in government, sports stars, or just average people who know that a consistent process of progress that's measured and that's fun and that's simple will get you from where you are to where you want to be. That's results coaching. That's our total immersion system, and that's our opportunity for you to test it out. All right? I hope that you'll give us a try and that you'll maybe drop me a note about the kind of impacts you have, or that I'll meet you at an event and you'll share with me the story of your results. That's one of my favorite things in life. Live strong and live with passion. And thanks for your time.